Update 90 of Ghost Simulator was a relatively small update, bringing no more than one NPC with a short quest line, and also a single new classified into the game. But it actually had a astounding impact on the game itself, since the NPC did give a new ability that's been actually slightly heavily requested in the community. To start with, this update brought a classified, as that is the top thing mentioned in the update log for this update, which actually can be found in the Grim loot bags that can be obtained by defeating Grim in the Ghost World. This is going to be a pretty rare chance of actually getting, but is going to provide some use to the Grim loot bag, which I think is nice, since Grim loot bag for a while now has been basically considered worthless, since there hasn't been anything good in it, and its gems amount has been quite low. The next thing that got brought into this update is obviously going to be your new store pets, and a few in the code introduced. But after that, it gets interesting with the introduction of this new NPC that does allow you the ability to use a gum hotkey, which really is helpful, at least from my grinding point of view. It makes using gum so much easier than having to go into your inventory to go find a gum and use it, or if you already have your gum in the right area, just go use it. It just makes that process so much more fun. It also allows you to do stuff when you don't have access to your menu. For instance, if you are unboxing pets or boards, you can use your gum hotkey to actually use a lucky gum while you're inside those menus, instead of having to get out of your menu and go use it outside there. It also, I would assume, allows you to use the gum inside the final boss area, which is really nice, since the method that was used before was slightly cheesy and a little bit of something that may not be wanted in a really good game like Ghost Simulator is. Now, as much as I have liked this update, unfortunately, I heard that there has been at least one bug in prevalence with the gum hotkey, that it does. You have to re-equip the gum after every single time you switch servers, which I can see to be quite annoying. But overall, I'd still say that the positives outweigh the negatives. Having not tried this myself, I do not know actually exactly how annoying or if the bug is as bad as it said. But even if it does happen, it is an easy enough fix, and I would say it would be fine dealing with. Now, as for the classified, I feel like the classified from Grim will actually provide so much more value for grinding Grim. Although, I mean, there wasn't much value to begin with, so the comparison is kind of not there anyways. But with all the other classifieds in game, like Gem Ship or the classifieds from the Rebirth crates, unlike all those, Grim will actually be sort of rare, since that's the only reason you really have to go for Grim loot bags, is going for that classified. So it won't be as heavily unboxed, since with main hub bosses, people grind there for currencies, for ecto tokens, and also new players just get to have free bosses all the time that they end up getting boxes for. So unlike Gem Ship, it will be quite rare, since not many people are going for it. And unlike the Rebirth Earth classifieds, people won't be going for it for the gem amounts or the mythical pets that are in those. So I think the classified in that loot bag will actually be relatively rare compared to those comparable items. With that in mind, I think that it will be really cool for those who unbox it, and actually quite valuable, at least compared to other classifieds that I usually are basically worthless. Now, for my opinion on this update, as you probably would have guessed, I actually really love this update, since it adds a new item that's been heavily requested in the community, and will allow for quite more efficient grinding in basically all areas of Ghost Simulator. And along with that, it also added a small little addition to the game in some area that was formerly useless, which is always really nice to see things get added to use. Similar to how gum adding actually made a use to items, adding a small classified to the Grim loot bag will make it a little bit more useful in terms of people's perception of it. Now, in terms of rating this update, I'm planning on rating all the updates on a scale of 1 to 10, similar to how a lot of other people do their ratings. I'm slightly inspired by a Brawl Stars creator by the name of Kairos Time, if you know about them. But anyways, 1 being like the worst possible update to 10 being like the most amazing update that's ever happened in Ghost Simulator. I would say I'd rate this update probably around a 7 out of 10. It does provide a really nice feature, albeit with some bugs. But I'm kind of getting used to bugs in Ghost Simulator, so it might be lower if you don't like bugs. But one of the main reasons why it's not getting a really high rating, like a 10, is just due to, like, not really the update itself being bad, but more of the amount of bugs that are still in the game that weren't patched in the update. That's been like one of the main concerns with most people playing Ghost Simulator, is the lack of bug fixes. And by that I mean mainly the Ecto token, or the Ecto bit tycoon for backdoor currencies, is still broken, along with a few other minor bugs in the game, like glitchy ghosts disappearing, which I think might be just a lag issue on PC's end. But still, there's also various other bugs that are still in the game that do kind of need to be addressed before I think I'd ever really give an update a 10 out of 10. But with that being said, as I said, it is still a 7 out of 10, so a pretty solid update, especially since this NPC can be done by basically anyone and isn't actually the most difficult quest in the game. And with that said, that is that's my review of this latest update. Hopefully you guys enjoy and are actually enjoying the update as much as I am. I really haven't had time to play it, but I'm sure once I do, I will actually have quite a lot of fun playing or messing around with the hotkey. With that said, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next update, hopefully.